Guess what? If you are watching this, guess what day it is? It is a Sunday. Guess what? It is the first Sunday of the month. It is November 1st. How has that happened? I don't know. Have you set your clocks back? I haven't. I know that time is passing. I'm at this show at the correct time, but it still is, it's an adjustment. It's an adjustment as everything. But it is 7:41 p.m. on Sunday, November 1st. Do you know what that means? That means it is time for Comedy is Calling. Comedy is Calling. Are you ready to answer the call? I know I am. Guess what, everyone? We're here with you for a new show. And I am thrilled because it's November already. As I said, I'm shocked. I don't understand how it's already November, but it is. And we're here with an extremely funny show. I was just talking to the comedians about things I'm thankful for. I'm very thankful that I know all these funny comedians to do this show because I know I'm about to have a wonderful evening. I think you're about to have a wonderful evening if you're watching this. I would like to thank the comedians for doing this. I would also like to thank Capital Cider House for co-hosting this show. We love you, Capital Cider House. More on that later. Everyone, if you're watching this, you are in for about an hour and a half of wonderful comedy, including stand-up and improv. So a little bit of everything. And I'm just going to kick this off because I'm thrilled. I'm very happy we're doing this. And guess what, everyone? We are going to start off our stand-up portion of the show with someone who I love watching stand-up from. I think they're hysterical. Every single show I see them do, I love. So without further ado, please make some noise for the very funny Dave McOwen, everyone.
Woo! Hi, everyone. Oh, thank you so much, Stacey. Oh, it's good to be here. Listen, fingers crossed. We are 48 hours away from the high water mark of the dumb Confederacy. Just hoping. Just want to get back to arguing about dumb things. Coming to you in 4K. New high def webcam, which I'm sorry. That was a terrible decision. I feel like that this is Amazon's fault because they know everything about you. You know, when I put that in my cart, they should have been like, "Hi, Mr. McOwen. Hey, it says here you just turned 50. Congratulations. And let's see, your last order was 3 pairs of extra large sweatpants." And 5 pounds of beef jerky. You sure you're ready for 4K there, sport? No. You know, you ask if I want to protect my purchase, but you never ask if I want to protect my feelings. Yeah. So I'm stressed. Who isn't stressed? Every time you see the headlines on social media, oh, new study, stress causes whatever horrible disease and condition. I just add that to my future, medical history. Because there's 3 kinds of people aren't stressed, right? Jerks, lunatics, and Buddhist monks. And you might think that last one is appealing, but they can't eat cheeseburgers. So I don't like any of those options. Like those articles might as well be singing telegrams from my doctor's office. There's no need to scream and shout. We've diagnosed that you've got gout. Oh, that's not, wait, what? Your doctor sent a singer and a dancer because your test results say that you've got, all right, I don't have to spell it out. But it's stressful. It's for dumb reasons, like people who don't think science exists. Is that that shouldn't be a thing? I have a friend who works at NASA. Brag. And they have contractors that come in, and one of them wasn't wearing a mask, and they said, "Hey man, you have to wear a mask." And their response was, "Oh, you're one of those believers, huh? In science? You're at NASA. Read the fucking room." crazy to me. The Boogaloo Boys. You know about these? The Boogaloo Boys. I'm not fine with them. They're idiots. But I grew up in the 80s. And if you don't know, the Boogaloo Boys take their name from a movie called Breakin' 2: Electric Boogaloo. So it's like Civil War II Electric Boogaloo. I don't understand. So that's where it comes from. That's where they stole it. And listen, I don't have a like. I breakdance, fighted. I don't know how to conjugate that, but like I was with breakdancers. We breakdanced in the 80s. I watched those movies. Those were fun movies. Guess what? Not a lot of overweight, entitled white guys in those movies. I don't know if you know the breakdancing scene. I just, it's annoying. And people, you know, people act like white privilege is some kind of new concept. Oh, the liberals invented white privilege. You've known about white privilege since you were a kid. You have. Do you know how I know? Remember Goldilocks? Yeah. That was her nickname. Her real name was Karen. But I don't know. So no, I'm trying to distract myself. I'm trying to come up with things that just are fun to do. You know, watching a lot of television, watch a lot of true crime shows, which those are. I don't know if you crime. That's generous, right? We only care about one crime, murder, right? Netflix is not greenlighting season 2 of Making a Jaywalker. No, nobody's watching. I mean, I will watch that, but like, we want shows about murder because murder is the best. By which I mean it's terrible. But that's what makes it the most compelling. Is that it's like if crime was a buffet, like murder would be the lobster at the end of Crime Lobster. I'd watch that. I don't understand how people can be serial killers. Like, sorry, is it weird to be confused by that? What I mean is, like, I get the hating people part. Right? We've all been there. It's the actual murdery part that just, it seems like a lot of work. Like, I'm an introvert. Like, the thought of going out and like meeting new people and like striking up a conversation, you know, inviting them back to your place in the before times, you know, watching a movie, if everything goes right, disposing of a body, like who's got the energy for that? It's a lot of, I guess, I mean, technically, I guess I could be a serial killer for however long it would take until like the neighbor showed up at my door. Like, hey man, it smells really bad. Are you like hiding dead bodies in there? And I'd have to be like, yes, Steve, I am. Stab, 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 stab. Dead Steve. Dead Steve. I feel like this is a teachable moment. If you ever suspect that your neighbor might be hiding dead bodies, don't go ask that neighbor if they're hiding dead bodies. Like, call the police like an adult. Now, I know it's not fashionable to murder shame people these days, but I feel like that last one was mostly Steve's fault. All right, too dark. You're right. Whiplash. Let's talk about the Beverly Hillbillies. Not serial killers, although that would make that show way more interesting. It would make Mr. Drysdale's suspicion really interesting. I told you there was something wrong with those. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. The Beverly Hillbillies. If you're not familiar with the show, you remember the theme song, I'm sure. It starts off with a line like this. Then one day they were shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is black gold, Texas tea, right? And I like to think, like, they must have brainstormed that in the writer's room, you know, like old timey, like ties and martinis and like a chalkboard. Be like, all right, listen up. How else can we say oil? You know what? I'm gonna start it off. Black gold. All right. What else do we got? Texas tea. Oh, Texas tea. That's fantastic. It's gonna play great in the heartland. Perfect. All right. Steve. Yeah. Yeah. Seagull shampoo. Seagull shampoo. Oh, Steve. This is a kids show. But yeah, listen, no wrong answers, right? Good energy. Let's keep it going. Yeah, what do you got? Bubbling crude. Ooh, bubbling crude. That's the onomatopoeia. I love it. Yes. Oh, Steve, you got another one? Yeah, dinosaur jizz. God damn it, Steve. Yeah, probably more fun in my head. But been watching, very excited for the election, obviously, but more importantly, season 2 of The Mandalorian dropped yesterday, which I don't know if you are familiar with this guy. He is adorable. I'm a man, not much of one, but technically, and I have 120 combat hours over Afghanistan, and looking at Baby Yoda, I have ovulated 37 times. I didn't know I could do that. That's it for me. I saw your Yoda, Stacey. Thanks so much. I'm Dave McOwen.
Woo.
Oh my God. Yes. Keep it going for Dave McOwen. And as Dave said, I also have one. Everyone, this is available at the CVS. So if you're saying to yourself, I want one, just go on to your local CVS. They have them. Love them. Guess what, everyone? The comedy keeps going. You have more comedy from me, your host, Stacey Axler, coming at you right now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Here we go. So I'm 28. And something that I've noticed recently is that a lot of my friends I made in college and in high school are having children. And there's nothing more that humanizes you to parents than when your friends start to become parents. And you start to realize a lot of things. Like parents tell you a lot of lies. But they tell you those lies to try to make your life better. Like Santa, I'm Jewish, but even my parents told me about Santa. I believed in Santa for a while because my parents didn't want me to feel different than the Christian kids. The Tooth Fairy. I thought the Tooth Fairy existed for a very long time. Another lie I know my parents said was that when you become an adult, you'll stop caring about what other people think about you. That's not true. I care just as much, if not more, about what people think of me now. So, as I said, anyway, parents tell you a lot of lies. As an adult, you have to recognize them and move on. Something I was told a lot when I was a child was that peer pressure was bad. They gave you a lot of examples as a youth. They would say peer pressure is bad. You don't want to experience peer pressure. You don't want peer pressure. And I understand that, but what they don't tell you is that peer pressure is fun. Peer pressure is bad. I don't disagree, but peer pressure is fun. Peer pressure means you have peers around you to pressure you. That's fun. When you don't have peers around you, that means that you're unlikable. So it's a double-edged sword there, that parents don't let you in on this. But I was one of those kids, I never experienced peer pressure because I never had peers around me. But now as an adult, it's like one of those things where sometimes you want to leave a bar and your friends are like, no, 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 stay. That's peer pressure. And I think we can all agree that feels good. When people just don't want to continue having a good time if you leave, they want to entice you in. That feels good. So anyway, parents, I understand what you're trying to say, but you left out the fun component of it. You just left it out. Something I've noticed recently is that a lot of people call people who they don't want in their life anymore needy. People will say, oh, that person's needy. You know, I don't want to be with that person. Here's the thing, though. Everyone has needs. Maybe you just can't meet that other person's needs, and that's on you. So what I'm trying to say is look in the mirror and make a judgment call about what you can or cannot do. Because it's not always on the other person who has needs. Maybe it's on you for not being able to meet those needs. And, you know, that's not a bad thing. It's not. But maybe it is because you should meet their needs, maybe. But if you can't, make that judgment call and leave. People say that life isn't fair. I heard that time and time again growing up. I would say, why can't I get this Lego set? And I would be told, oh, life isn't fair. That's why you can't get the Lego set. Here's the thing, though, what they don't tell you growing up. Life isn't fair, except for, this is the big but when you make the rules, life is fair to you. Basically, this is what I'm saying, everyone. If you have money, life is fair. Like, here's the thing. I played Monopoly quite a bit growing up. I played it quite a bit. Monopoly, if you're not aware, is a game where you can choose to play as a Scotty dog, an iron, a shoe, and a bunch of other assorted bric-a-brac. Here's the thing, though, why anyone would not choose to be the Scotty dog. If you don't choose to be the Scotty dog and you're forced to be another thing, but if you don't automatically select Scotty dog, you probably are a sociopath, because I don't know why anyone would look at the assortment of options and say, you know what, thimble for me. No, there's a beautiful Scotty dog, maybe car. Maybe I would give you car, but not any of those other things. But here's so you do your thing. But one of the players of Monopoly is assigned to be banker. And don't you think it's quite odd that whoever is banker automatically ends up winning 9 out of 10 times? That's because, here's the thing, everyone. That's because banker takes money from the bank. I know, because I've done it plenty of times. When you're giving out the money to the other people, sometimes you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to take 10 and hope that no one notices. People don't notice because they're worried about, oh, if I get a 12, that means I get on Boardwalk. But here's the thing, getting on Boardwalk is a very slim chance. Getting to be the bank means you control all the money. If you control all the money, life is fair to you. That means you can give out all the mortgages. This is all related, everyone. We are doomed, is what I'm saying. Because people are controlling our money. People, and you know, I feel like this way too. Just the other day, I was listening to my transactions on SunTrust, because I still call the SunTrust number. I'm old-fashioned. I still keep a check register. And they were like, you were charged $35 for a check fee. I was like, well, this is why we can never get ahead. Just when you think we're getting ahead, I order more checks because I need to write some more checks to Pepco. You charge me a fee for it. So anyway, life isn't fair unless you're at the top. So everyone, what I'm saying is get to this top. Get to the top no matter what it takes. Just try, climb, do whatever you want. Push people off of the top and get to the top. Just try. Because there, I think it's a little more fair. Oh my gosh. I want to make more friends and meet new people. Obviously, I wrote this joke pre-COVID. It's not hidden the way I would want it to, but I want to make new friends and meet new people. Here's the thing though. A lot of my friends, when I said this to them, they're like, oh, well, just go to a different bar. You always go to the same bar. That's true. I'm a creature of habit. But here's the thing. I've got a better solution, better than a bar. That's a retirement community. I get along better with old people. Like, if someone needs a new grandchild, I volunteer. I'm a wonderful grandchild. I was never given a chance to be the best grandchild I could be, but I'm fun. I can take you out. I can show you a good time. I can drive at night. I wouldn't want to do it, but I can. I can keep track of your personal belongings. So what I'm saying here is, listen, just invite me to your retirement communities. I can do things like that and more. I can watch Golden Girls with you. So just give me some time. I will be your next best friend and maybe your grandchild. In the past, when I stayed at hotels for business trips, I always liked staying at hotels because whenever you would get to a new hotel room, I don't know about you, but what I would like to do is get acclimated. You know, I always felt weird staying in places by myself, so I'd always like open the closets, make sure no one else was there, look in all the drawers, la la la. And what always struck me was that little "Do Not Disturb" hanger on the hotel doors. Mm-hmm. I would always look at that little hanger and say, that's wishful thinking. Nothing here is gonna have to be disturbed. The only thing here is gonna be something disturbing, which is the sight of me eating chicken tenders at 3 a.m. like it's my last meal, because inevitably, whenever I stay at a hotel, I always seem to eat chicken tenders at 3 a.m. And I don't know what else to say besides I'm a creature of habit and I like chicken tenders, and if it's on the menu of the room service, I'm eating it. I don't know what else to say. Especially if it comes with honey mustard. If it doesn't come with honey mustard, you can just go. Just go. If you're not giving free honey mustard, I don't know what else to say. Besides, you need to get your act together. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid, I got along with my teachers very well when I was a teenager. I really got along with my teachers. I was like a teacher's pet when I was a teenager. Actually, when I was in high school, my best friends were my teachers, frankly. But in elementary school, the teachers did not like me. I was a little too creative and zany for them. I remember when I was in elementary school in first grade, we had a substitute teacher. And this woman followed me until the 6th grade. She kept being our sub years and years later, and she did not like me. And I remember once she instead of passing out our homework assignments, she said, come to the front and get your homework assignment, which was just, oh my gosh. I mean, come on, lady, like just pass them out, but whatever. She made us come up to get them. So I stood up and I was walking to the front to get them. And she looked at me and she said, oh my gosh, Stacey, you move like a sloth. And I said, thank you. Because at that point in my life, I took everything as a compliment, and I still honestly do to this day. And I don't understand sarcasm. So I thought she was saying something complimentary. So I was like, oh, thank you so much. And she was like, she got very disturbed. I took it as a compliment. She's like, no, Stacey, I said sloth as in you're moving too slow. Sloth was as in bad. And I said, no, I don't think you're understanding sloth correctly. Sloths are lovable, cute. They live in the woods. Everyone loves them. They go out to the woods to look at them. And she's like, no, Stacey, that's not what I meant. But even without realizing it, I got the one up on the teacher there. But here's the thing. That substitute made me lose all of my self-esteem. And I just want to say, Miss Nelson, if you're listening to this, you probably didn't ever think that I'd remember it, but I did. And I wanted to say that words matter. And I hope you take a long look at yourself in the mirror. But here's the thing, though. Even that happened when I was 6. And I just, to this day, I'm 28 now, so 22 years later, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I just realized I was in first grade 22 years ago. that made me get a little lightheaded, but 45% of my dialogue then and now was the word thank you. No matter what anyone said to me, I was like, oh, thank you, even if it was a bad thing. 45% of my other words was the word sorry. And then the remaining 10% was a mystery day to day. But even to this day, most of the words out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, or oh, thank you. Like, I don't know. If you had to guess, those are the words going out of my mouth. Here's the thing. I've been reading a lot about geniuses. And Albert Einstein's a genius. I think we could all agree with that. Albert Einstein once said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And what I would like to say to that is, don't judge me, Albert. You don't know me. And I try very hard my day to day, and I'm not insane. I just think doing things the same way is great. And here's the thing, though. I don't think I have to change. I think other people need to change and get better. So I'm waiting for the world to adapt around me. And if that's crazy, then Albert, I don't know what to say to you. And I'm really saying this too. I had a classmate in middle school who was related to Albert Einstein. And I just want to say, you know, I think I'm bringing up a good point. So no offense to Albert Einstein, but I think this point's good. And, you know, here's the thing. Good people are always expected to change and expected to adapt to the bad things in life. But I think the bad people out there should watch their words and get better. So I'm ending on a little bit of a somber note, but with everything happening in the world, I think people should honestly get better, watch their words, and try to be respectful and kind to other people. And if you don't, well then, guess what? You shouldn't be watching the show. So get out. Watch something else. Facebook audience, watch another show online, because this show isn't for you. And with all that, I'm Stacey Axler. Thank you so much for listening. I had such a good time talking to you all. And guess what, everyone? Guess what? The comedy keeps going, because that's why it's called Comedy is Calling. The comedy keeps going. And I am thrilled because I'm about to welcome one of my favorite stand-ups ever to the forefront of the Zoom. He is so funny, amazing, always makes me laugh. I cannot wait for this. So without further ado, please make some noise for the very funny Jason Fliegle, everyone.
Woo! Hey, that's me. I'm the third comic of the evening, but the first without a baby Yoda. So that's the best I have a penguin. I don't know if that's the closest I can come to a baby Yoda. Stacey was talking about Albert Einstein and his definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Isn't that just practice? I feel like if you just do the same thing and don't get a different result, like if that were the way it really worked, no one would ever practice anything. I don't know, Stacey, you were also talking about Monopoly, and it got me thinking, and I realized that the meeting where they came up with all the different pieces must have been a lot like the meeting Dave was talking about where they came up with all the terms for oil in the Beverly Hillbillies. Only like someone in that meeting was the nephew of the Parker brothers, because like, oh, well, we're going around the board. What are the different pieces? Race car. All right, good. Race car. Write that down. Guy on a horse. Guy on a horse. We'll write that one down. An iron. Gary, what the fuck? I said an iron, and you know who my uncles are. All right, we'll put down iron. That's got to be the way it happened. I mean, a thimble. Who even knows what a thimble is in the 21st century? I don't know. I'm having a day. I made a big mistake. I went on WebMD and looked up my symptoms, and I've got coronavirus based on WebMD. I don't know. I haven't had a test, but WebMD, like now, you used to type something in, it was cancer. Now it's coronavirus. They have 172 symptoms on there for coronavirus, which is not good for me because I'm a hypochondriac. And hypochondria is one of the symptoms of coronavirus now. So, but every 172, I miss the old days where the symptoms were cough. That was it. If you were coughing, you were fine. If you were coughing, tell your family you love them and prepare your will. Now the symptoms are like being too tired, not being tired enough, being the right amount of tired. They're all coronavirus symptoms now. One of the symptoms, I was going through the list of symptoms. One of them was excessive rectal bleeding, and I just want to know how much is an appropriate amount of rectal bleeding. That's my big question. I have a neighbor who a couple weeks ago got coronavirus for real, and don't feel bad. We all hate him. It's fine. No, like for real, he apparently he's better now. He got over it. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of sympathy for him. He kind of brought it on himself because he always used to go out without a mask. And in fact, right before he got coronavirus, he had a whole bunch of people over to his house for a big party to announce his pick for the Supreme Court. So yeah, that's the weird part about living in Washington, D.C. is that Donald Trump is my neighbor. And he never shows up to the homeowner association meetings. I don't get it. Although to be fair, he doesn't own the place; he's renting. I guess that's why. But I find thinking about him as my neighbor makes reading the news easier. Like you read a headline and it's something like President Trump holds rally from White House balcony. And it's like, oh, holy shit, like the president of the United States is standing on this balcony like a dictator, like Mussolini or something. But if you think of it as like my neighbor went out on his porch and yelled at people on his lawn, then it's just, oh, that's Donnie being Donnie. But I gotta think of it like in those terms because I'll go nuts otherwise because like I'm always getting alerts on my phone of different stuff in the news. And the weird thing is it always says it's news for me. And the last one I got was about a guy being sent to jail for leading a sex cult. How is that news for me? Like, does my phone think I'm in a sex cult? Like a regular cult I would get. I've taken a bunch of improv classes. But that's pretty much the opposite of a sex cult. Or maybe my phone thinks I want to start my own sex cult, but that seems like a lot of work. And my phone has a GPS built in. It knows I never go anywhere. Am I supposed to start a sex cult on Zoom? It'd be me and Jeffrey Toobin. That's not a cult. It really blows my mind that my phone has been eavesdropping on me for years, and that's what it comes up with. It knows I'm not Googling sex cult things. Like there's no orgies in my search history, no brainwashing tips. I haven't even searched for Kool-Aid, right? If my phone wants to send me news for me, it should be sending me information about like the best way to take a nap. That's more my speed. Maybe my phone is just lonely and it wants me to start a sex cult so it'll have some friends. I'm not starting a. How could you start a sex cult in 2020? It's like nobody's leaving their house, and I'm not gonna do it over Zoom. Like going online doesn't work for me. In fact, I was on Facebook today and I got called a cuck by my 6-year-old niece. So it's not. She's not being best. You guys. You remember Be Best? That was Melania's big anti-bullying campaign, right? Yeah, anti-cyberbullying from Melania Trump. I think the call is coming from inside the house, Melania. Here's a way to think about it. An anti-cyberbullying campaign from Melania Trump is a bit like a hashtag Me Too campaign from Camille Cosby, or a hashtag Me Too campaign from Melania Trump. But look, I don't blame Melania for the fact that I got cyberbullied. It's not her fault. These first ladies, they always have these public awareness campaigns and they never work the way they're supposed to, right? Like Michelle Obama wanted people to eat healthier, didn't work. Laura Bush wanted people to read more books, didn't work. Hillary Clinton wanted people to vote for her, didn't work. Hey, most people are laughing. There's somebody watching this right now who is sobbing uncontrollably. It's okay. 2 days to election day. We'll figure it out this time, one way or the other. But I grew up in the 80s. First lady when I was growing up was Nancy Reagan. Her big thing was say no to drugs. Spoiler alert, didn't work. We got a lot of good PSAs out of it, right? They would always tell you stuff like, be careful, kids. The drug dealers are going to offer you free drugs to get you hooked. And there were no free drugs. I looked everywhere. Nobody was offering free drugs. I would have taken them, but it wasn't a thing. But we did get these PSAs. I remember my favorite one. It shows a guy running down the street. And there's a voiceover, and the voiceover goes, when I grow up, I want to be a track star. And then the camera pans back, and you see he's being chased by a police officer, and the police officer grabs him. And then the voiceover goes, nobody ever said when I grow up, I want to be a drug addict. Which, like, all right, fair enough. But also, nobody ever said when I grow up, I want to make drug PSAs. Like nobody's doing whatever they wanted to do when they grow up, right? We're all just doing something else, except Meghan Markle. She's a movie star princess, but everyone else is not living their best life. Also, that guy couldn't even outrun a cop. How's he gonna be a track star? Like that's not. No. Stacey was talking about how when she was 22 years ago, she was in the first grade, which I can totally relate to because 22 years ago, I was in the first year of law school. Which anyone who's gone to law school will know there is a lot more in common between those than you might think. But I am middle-aged. And I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm 46. Like this is not making it to 92. Middle age for me was probably a good 10 years ago. But here's the thing they don't tell you about being middle-aged is when you get to like a certain age, like maybe mid-30s, like you are going to start getting injured for no reason whatsoever. And if you don't believe me, find someone who is middle-aged and ask them to tell you the story about the last time they threw their back out. They'll have a story, and that story is going to end right when you think it's about to start, right? You'll be like, oh man, you threw your back out. How'd that happen? Well, I came home from work and I took my coat off. And And I was in bed for 3 days. That's just how it works. And I've gotten to that point. I need to accept it. Like, I tried to deny it for a long time. But earlier this week, I went to the liquor store and I went to get myself a 6-pack. And I get to the register and I go to show the cashier my ID. And he doesn't even take my ID. He just looks at me and goes, "Nah, you're cool, Pops." The hell? He called me Pops. I almost kicked his ass, but when I went to pull my ID out of my wallet, I threw my back out. Hey guys, I've been Jason Fliegle. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for your host, Stacey Axler.
Woo!
Oh my gosh, keep it going for Jason Fliegle, everyone. Thank you, Jason. Everyone, guess what? The comedy just keeps going. It doesn't stop until the end of the show. And I am thrilled because I'm about to welcome one of my other favorite comedians in this lifetime. I am so thrilled about this. She's so funny. So without further ado, please make some noise for the wonderful Lauren Smith, everyone.
Woo!
So sweet. Guys, I have an idea. I do. I think we need to set Stacey's substitute teacher, Mrs. Nelson, up with Jason's neighbor, Donnie. Because you know Melania is filing for divorce on November 4th. She's going to be best without him, just like the rest of us. Guys, so welcome to my bedroom.
Ooh.
Yeah, back in the before time, it used to take people 3 dates to get here, which is how you know that, like Jason and Dave, I am Generation X. Because those millennial types, man, they fuck on the first date. But I am actually the oldest comic on this show, and I just turned 51. What that means is that when Dave was talking about his high definition, what I was noticing was that he does not have a single wrinkle on his forehead. Forehead and Stacey's forehead look exactly the same, and she is 28. Dave, you've been using Botox, buddy. So, speaking of physical appearance, I have gained a little weight in quarantine. Anyone else?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I am well, we still call it middle-aged, even though I'm probably not making 102 either. But I am a middle-aged Jewish woman, so it has gone straight to my boobs and my butt, which would be good, except I have been quarantining solo. So it's like, what a waste. It's hourglass now. And it should be fun for someone. But I have been quarantining solo. So when my work pants stopped fitting, I decided to use the BMI calculator to see if I was still healthy. Now, before, the computer would just say, your weight is below normal. Feel free to get naked. But you may wish to purchase a push-up bra. Okay, I lied about that. It just said normal and moved on, even though I was on the low part of normal, and the good bra really did help. But I had not run a BMI since I had turned 50. So I ran it with my current weight, and the result was smack dab in the middle of the normal part of the chart. me, right?
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, not so much once you turn 50. They stop worrying about whether you're getting fat and start worrying about whether you're getting frail. As you get older, you should expect to gain weight. You will maintain optimal weight if you gain 3 pounds in the next 5 years. Stop worrying about how you look naked. No one wants to see that anymore. It's time to learn to bake instead. I am particularly fond of pumpkin pie, and it is not difficult. Okay, I made up that last part. The computer did not ask me to bake a pumpkin pie. It said to order it from Dean and DeLuca. Feel free to binge eat it alone. Yeah. I have been quarantining manless since March. If I had known this was gonna happen, I would not have insisted on that third date thing, let me tell you guys. And as I said, I am 51 years old, and that is a big number, and it is different than I thought it would be. Yeah. I thought by this age I would have money, and I don't. I thought someone might love me, and I don't, and they don't, clearly. But I also thought, oh, Stacey's so sweet. I'm giving little hearts. But I also thought that I would be so much uglier by now. Yeah. I also don't understand mahjong. Oh well. But on the plus side, so I'm going to talk about the things that I do understand, namely makeup. Okay, I know. But in the before time, when I wanted to invest in makeup, and yeah, I said invest, the average woman spends $3,756 a year on makeup. That is enough to lease a Honda Accord. Which I guess is fair, since I am hoping to entice someone to give me a ride. Yeah, anyway, I used to test drive at Sephora. I can't decide if I miss that or the Trader Joe's samples the most. Sephora, I think I miss you most of all. By the way, that was a Judy Garland reference. She was a movie star back before most of you were born. Anyway, speaking of movie stars, lots of celebrities wore this lipstick called Pillow Talk to the award shows this year. And it has been a long time since there's been anyone to talk to on my pillow. As I said, if I had realized this was going to happen, I would have been so much sluttier last winter. Anyway, I thought the lipstick might help, but the world shut down before I got to try it. And it cost $34 plus shipping now, so that is $40 for one product. I am currently wearing 11 different products on my face, and that's just the part you can see over the mask. So this is why men need to buy dinner. I spend way more on looking like this than they ever spend on me, even if I order an appetizer and dessert. So there was a $25 trial size on the website, and I put it in my cart. You guys familiar with online shopping? Then you know I just made a rookie mistake. Am I right? Yeah, because that is when the emails started. Bing! Spend $25 at Sephora and get a free rose oil, gardenia, and monkey spunk serum. And for those of you who just acted like monkey spunk was a completely reasonable ingredient for a beauty product, I feel ya. I've never seen a porn star with a zit either. Everyone giggles much more guiltily now. But then the emails started to get needy. Dancing Post-it notes saying things like, "Bing! You left me in your cart. Bing! Please," in all caps, "please don't forget about me." Finally, "Bing! Don't you want me anymore?" Sounded way too much like the DMs I used to send my ex. When I ignored them the way he ignored mine, guys, shit got real. Bing! You're not hot enough for pillow talk anyway, you pesky cussy. Bing! Who do you think you are? Bing! Superstar Michelle Williams wore pillow talk to the Golden Globes. It's for her, not you. Bing! The girlfriend on Dawson's Creek, the wife in The Greatest Showman, the real life wife of the guy who OD'd himself and still got the Academy Award for Joker. Idiot. A minute. Girlfriend, wife. Bing! You can't keep a man long enough to be defined by him. Yeah, only hags have lives that pass the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is a test of a work of art that asks whether it has two female characters with names who have a conversation with each other about something other than a man or a romantic relationship. In other words, lesbian porn does not pass. Sorry, I don't make the rules. But a makeup tutorial would, if only Sephora didn't so clearly need to raise its consciousness. Bing! Yeah. Heath Ledger would never do you, let alone Dawson or Hugh Jackman. Bing! Yeah, sweetheart, the best you're ever gonna do is some incel Comic-Con escapee in Joker face paint. That's right, guys. Pillow talk has been giving me nightmares. And on that, but the good news is that my daughter says to me, "You know what, Mommy? You are perfect just the way you are." And I'm glad you don't have a boyfriend because I want to keep you all to myself.
Aww.
Yeah, isn't that sweet? Then she gets a little harder and she's like, "You know, Mom, Spike's the boy. Maybe you could marry Spike." Now, if it's not obvious from the name, guys, Spike is a pet, not a person. This has been such a long quarantine that I actually have considered Spike. Here's the thing, though. Spike's a cat, not a dog.
Mhm.
I can't find his penis. And this could be a really long quarantine if the wrong person wins the election. So if Donald Trump does not lose, I am considering getting a pit bull. So if you want to make sure that no animals are abused in the making of comedy, you need to go out and vote for Joe Biden.
Oh my gosh. Keep it going for Lauren Smith, everyone. Guess what, everyone? Guess what? We have reached the point of the show where we are about to welcome our headliner of the stand-up portion. And I am thrilled about it because this person is so funny. I love them. I love their humor. So without further ado, please make some noise for the very funny Cy D, everyone.
Ooh, thank you. That's me. Thank you very much, Stacey. I learned a lot about makeup. I didn't know I needed that. Like I'm like just like most other guys. I just use one 5-in-1 moisturizing, shampooing, conditioning, body and face shower gel. Liquid, really. I don't know. I don't think you can call it gel. It's like it comes in a blue bottle. It's a blue transparent liquid which has the same consistency and taste of Dawn. So I think I'm good. Right? I'm never gonna get a 4K camera because my face is clearly not going to be as good as Dave's. But I think that's good for me. Well, it's nice to see you guys. It's nice to see that Stacey that your clock is not adjusted yet.
It's still not
I'm glad-
adjusted.
Yes, I'm glad. Look, we don't, honestly, we don't need friends like those. We don't need people and their, people who are right on top of things and have their clocks adjusted the minute after daylight saving times ends. We don't need those kind of people and their toxic on top of life energy, right? Don't need those kind of people. Yeah, that's right, Walker. Screw you, your IRA, and your $0 student loan debt. All right, just don't call me again. Sorry, just blowing off steam. No, the one thing I want to talk about, and it's on everyone's mind, is the election. So Tuesday is going to be a big day, and looks like most polls are indicating that I don't know, 538. I think had 90% chance of Biden winning. The Economist had pretty much the same thing. I just want to offer a piece of advice, and this is coming from me as a statistician, that we cannot still take it for granted. We should learn from last time. So I guess you guys are all being proactive and mailed in your Canadian permanent residency applications. Look, my word. So, and I am a statistician, and I do get the question. And like even today, someone messaged me. It's like, so, Sai, what's the final prediction? Are you guys going to screw it up like you guys did last time? And look, I really don't have any response for that, except for what I told people last time immediately after the election when they questioned me about it. It's like statisticians in 2016 did everything correctly. Nate Silver did everything correctly. Like he looked at the polls and the pollster and he forecasted the election, and the pollsters did things correctly too. They correctly noted down what people said. There's just one thing that we all completely forgot. That racist white people are damn good liars. And so that is my prediction for this year too, that racist white people are still damn good liars. So I don't know where we're going to go from that. But I was talking about the past elections, and I remember it was a nice, it was a weird time. I remember the night the results came out, the Tuesday night. Like it was a weird time to be around. But if you were like me, a brown person in this very liberal college town called Ann Arbor, right? Ann Arbor is known as the Berkeley of the Midwest, just so you know. So it's kind of like an oxymoron. No, but no. So if you were like me, a brown person in a liberal college town, it was the perfect time, perfect night for you to go out and take advantage of all the liberal white guilt in the air. It was an awesome time. I just went out and people were consoling me and they were giving me hugs and they were like offering me free stuff. Like I collected at least 5 jars of artisanal pickles. This is Ann Arbor, guys. So, but except this one guy, right? This one kid, and he was well-meaning too. Like I could say he was well-meaning, and he came up to me and he insisted on saying something to make me feel better. And I saw it going bad, so I said, "Hey, man, look, you really don't have to do this. Just give me a wallet, and we can go our separate ways." But he wouldn't listen. He insisted on saying something, and so this is what he said. He said this. He said, "Hey, man, remember, listen. I know it's going to be a tough time for you." But just remember, take solace in what Winston Churchill said. Winston Churchill once said, democracy is the worst form of government except for every other form that's been tried before. That's a very inspirational quote. But the problem is, Winston Churchill also said, Indians are a beastly people with a beastly religion. And he wanted to send in his bombers to kill us all. Like, what are you doing quoting Winston Churchill to an Indian guy? Do your goddamn homework. Like, what are you going to do next? Quote Christopher Columbus to a bunch of Native Americans? Like, I wanted to ask this guy. This was 2016. I want to ask him, like, where are you going next? Are you going to go to Standing Rock and go to the protesters at Standing Rock and be like, hey, guys, I know you guys are losing your houses, but remember what Christopher Columbus said, mi casa, su casa. That's not how things work. No, look, and I talk about democracy, but really, do we even have a democracy here? I mean, I guess we kind of do. But I'll tell you what, like the thing that makes me doubt it is because some conservatives or some people in America believe that the minority, the people in the minority should not have a say in the democratic electoral process. And look, I'm not the sharpest beer in the drawer or the coldest knife in the fridge. I may not know a lot of things, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that's not how democracy works. Because if the minority does not have a say in the electoral process, then the president of New Zealand would be a fucking sheep. Yeah, guys, New Zealand is a country with 3 million people and 30 million sheep or something like that. And they have zero, the last I checked, they have 0 sheep members of parliament. So come to think of it, the people of New Zealand, the humans of New Zealand are really pulling the wool over the sheep size. It was a long way to get there, I know. No, man, it's going to be a historic week ahead. Historic Tuesday. It was a historic Monday last week. It was a very historic. If you're not kept up with the news, last Monday was when NASA found a lot of water on the moon, and then that very night, the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, outlawed science. So I'm just saying, like, if you are, a supporter who doesn't believe in wearing masks, now that gravity is outlawed, maybe you want to challenge it by jumping out of your window. No, I'm just kidding. All right? Just take that literally. Don't take that literally. No, Jason talked about Trump getting the China virus. And he still calls it that. He still calls it the China. I just wish they'll stop calling the China virus. Because there's clearly this Trump administration strategy of yelling, go back to where you're from at the virus is not working, right? That's got to learn by now. No, and look, I'm just kidding, all right? Honestly, they don't have a strategy. No, their strategy is to hope for herd immunity, right? That's why they've been throwing all those parties so that everyone gets it. And herd immunity, for those of you who don't know, herd immunity is when more than 50% or a sizable proportion of the population gets the virus, so the virus is stopped from spreading. So people stop transmitting it because they already have it. That's herd immunity. And that should not be confused with herd immunity, which is why you won't laugh at my jokes anymore. Yeah. What else is going on? So I went through all my jokes, and for the election, I guess those are the jokes. If Trump won, I'll still continue doing those jokes, but I have to be prepared the other way too. So if Biden wins, I just want to point out to all the naysayers, all the critiques out there who thought Biden was washed up, that Biden was not washed up. He was young. He was only 78, which means in next year, he's going to be in his prime. Guys, I'm a statistician. I couldn't help it. Yeah. What else is going on, guys? I was talking about Canadian permanent residency. I actually recently applied for my green card, my American permanent residency. Yeah, thank you. That's usually not the warm response I get, but thank you. No, I think. Look, I think I'm ready to be American. Right? I really want to be American. Because one day I too want to achieve the American dream of having ice on speed dial. Until then, I'm going to stay the hell away from ice. I'm not even drinking ice water. You never know when the ice is going to jump out and deport me. No, look, honestly, okay, and I know this is live on Facebook, so I don't want people to get uneasy. And please don't, if you are, don't reach for your phone just as yet, because I'm not surreptitiously a Salvadorian street gang member, right? I just want to reassure you that. Like, yeah, I'm not MS-13. I'm more MSXL. Like, I'm not a street thug. I'm more of a spreadsheet thug. Like, I don't do divide by. I mean, I don't do drive-bys, but I do really good divide-bys. So please don't be on edge. What else was I going to talk about? I've been trying to keep busy. I'm trying to learn new things. So I signed up for a few masterclasses. Signed up for Malcolm Gladwell's masterclass on storytelling, and I completed the whole thing from start to finish. And as I understand, I just have to do it 9,999 more times, and I'll be a master storyteller. Or by Einstein's logic, I'd be crazy. Right? Yeah. So I can tell some other jokes, but I'm just not ready to tell these jokes. Okay, this is a section I'm going to call jokes I'm not quite ready to tell yet. I have a joke about gene-edited babies, but I'm not ready to tell it yet because it's too long. I need to make it crisper. I know, right? I have a joke about tax breaks for the rich, but I can't tell it to you directly because you need to wait for it to trickle down to you. I have a joke about asymptotic theory, but it only works when there are more than 30 people in the room. Guys, I'm a statistician. I'm sorry. Yeah, I honestly, man, I don't know what else you guys have been up to during the quarantine. I've been listening to a lot of NPR, finding a lot of weird things in the news. Did you know, by the way, that Saddam Hussein used to listen to a lot of NPR? Yeah, the great Saddam Hussein was an NPR fan. You know, that's how they caught him in the first place. Like, he was safely holed away in the bunker of his, but they couldn't resist coming up for some fresh air. Now, Fresh Air was Saddam's favorite NPR show. You know what his least favorite NPR show was? Kuwait, don't tell me. Okay, I'm just going to stop there. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you, Stacey. Thank you, Capital Cider House.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Cy D. Cy D, everyone, the headliner of our stand-up portion of the show. Guess what, though, everyone? The show isn't over. We are about to have improv from one of my favorite improv teams in all of DC. They are hysterical. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask all of our stand-ups to turn their cameras off, and I'm going to pass it to Jason Fliegle, who you already enjoyed some stand-up from, and he is going to introduce this improv show. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Jason and Javi with the very funny Neon Salami.
Oh, thank you, Stacey. And you did, that was the perfect amount of ado. So thank you. Thank you very much. I'm just switching to gallery view so I can see what's going on. Hi everyone, we're Neon Salami. If you've seen one of these shows before, first of all, thank you for coming back. And second of all, you're used to Neon Salami being like 5 people, which is what we are, but 3 of us have other obligations that are keeping them away from here tonight. So
we're a few salamis short of a charcuterie plate.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's it exactly. So we're gonna try something a little different tonight. Do a little 2-person improv, duo-prov, as we call it in the biz. The biz is what we call the business in the biz.
Show business is what we call business in the biz.
Yeah, and we tell ourselves this is a business, even though like nobody is getting rich off improv. But
No.
you know, it is what it is. But we're gonna try a little 2-person scene, and maybe someone who is not a member of Neon Salami but is in the room can shout out a word that we can use to build our scene.
Election.
Election. Okay, election makes me think of November.
Which makes me think of turkey and somewhat awkward family gatherings.
Awkward family gatherings make me think of my cousin.
You know, why don't we do a quick scene about a couple cousins who used to spend a lot of time together, but are just getting to know each other again.
All right, here we go. Cousin Javi, I'm so glad you suggested this Zoom reunion. I haven't talked to you in, God, I don't even know how long it's been.
Well, you know, Jason, it's really great to see you, but yeah, I only have about 5 minutes or so before I go to my next Zoom thing. So why don't you just give me the brief notes on everything? And oh yeah, that sounds great.
Oh my, we haven't talked to each other. I think like since Cousin Marie's wedding, which is at least 15 years ago, and you want to pack it all into 5 minutes?
You know, yeah, that was a great time. Cousin Marie's wedding. Yeah, that was great.
Are you even paying attention to me? I can see your phone. At least bring it down out of the camera shot.
Yeah, it's a new phone. It is. It's one of those new 12 XRs. It's really something. I just picked it up today. Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy for you, but like you're the one who scheduled this. So
Yeah,
like, can you put the phone down?
Great. Yeah. What can I say? What's going new on our end? So Cheryl just got a new job. She's a CEO now of the company that she's been working for, and I just sold the company that I started. Remember when we started a company out of my mom's garage, and then I bought your shares for like $25. Well, let me just tell you, I just sold it for $2 million. So things are going great over here.
You sold the company that we started for $2 million?
Yep, sure did. But 25 bucks. I'm sure that got you something.
All right. You said you were gonna shut the thing down, and you would buy me out for 25 bucks, just like as a formality. But you were shutting it down.
Yeah. So I just shut it down about a month ago for $2 million.
No. like 18 years ago, when the company wasn't going anywhere. Because I remember, like, we were in the garage, and I said to you, like, Javi, I don't think this is working. I just don't think there's that much demand for people who want to rent llamas by the hour. And you were like, yeah.
I thought about the business model that we had going, and I kind of just restructured. So I did shut that down. The llamas from Mom's Garage part I shut down, but then I started a website, and let me tell you, there's a lot of demand for llamas through a website. Who knew?
Hey, llama.com, that's you?
I because all the paperwork isn't finalized yet, I can't say yes or no to that. But yeah, I was talking to my buddy Jeff on the phone, and he said, it's time to sell, and I'll buy it from you, $2 million. And I said, you know what, Jeff, I'll do that.
I saw the news article. You're talking about Jeff Bezos.
So I just call him Jeff.
You're buddies with Jeff Bezos, and all I got was 25 bucks.
And let me tell you a funny story. So I was golfing with Mark the other day, Big Zuck, and we were talking about Jeff and his backswing and just how shitty his swing is. He's got this weird hitch with his knees that it looks like he's in pain every time he swings the club. Those guys.
That's not a funny story at all. It's just a story that makes me mad. I sold you my half of the company for 25 bucks.
So how's that working out for you? Yeah, so our 5 minutes are almost up, just saying. I'm on a really strict schedule here, Jason. So I'm going to need you to...
What do you have coming up?
So
what do you have that you got to leave for?
I don't think you understand how a Scrum meeting works, Jason. So you tell me what you did today, you tell me what you're going to do tomorrow, and anything that's going to, impede your ability to get that done. That's what a tight Scrum. See, this is what you never understood. You never understood business, Jason.
This isn't business. I thought this was a family reunion.
Yeah. So, well, what I also have to say is that Aunt Stacey passed away, and I'm going to need you to sign over your piece of the inheritance.
Whoa. First of all,
I need some capital coming in. I'm trying to raise some funds here, Series B funding, and going to need some cash.
You just told me you sold your company for $2 million.
Jason, I'm wheeling and dealing. I've got a lot. Jason, again, the time. Come on. Time is money, Jason. We got a lot going on over here. I got one thing over here. I got one thing over. I can't keep track of everything, but yeah, trying to raise some cash here. Series B funding, going in on a new venture.
So you don't even care about reconnecting with me and the family. You just want my piece of the inheritance.
So this is us. Do you not see this, Jason? I don't know how much clearer I can. This is us reconnecting. We're reconnecting here. We're connecting.
Well, not very well. You shaking me down.
Do you understand how the internet works? We're here. There's a camera. There's the internet. My computer is connected to an IP, which is connected to a server, which is connected to your IP, which is connected to you. And here we are. We're connected.
You didn't even come to Aunt Stacey's Zoom funeral.
Yeah, I had a.
It was a Zoomerall, and you didn't come.
I have a very tight schedule. My assistant didn't put it on my calendar, and she was a good woman. Remember her apple pies? Woo!
Yes.
That was.
Yeah.
That was
Do you
a
know
pie.
why I remember her apple pies?
Hmm.
Because for the last 12 years, I've been going by her house every Sunday, and she's been baking those apple pies since COVID hit. Like we've been like, she's been in the kitchen and I've been outside with the window between us, but we still spent every Sunday together until she passed away. I'm not giving you her inheritance. She wanted me to have that.
That's a great story, Jason. That's a funny one. That's so the windows, huh? Yeah, yes. When the windows to the walls, right?
You weren't even paying attention. Also,
What?
that is
Excuse
not
me?
an appropriate song to reference in the context of Aunt Stacey's passing.
Jason, I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. Are you okay? You seem like you've got a lot. You're a little stressed out. Let me tell you, buddy, you're just coming off as a bit of a dick.
I'm coming off as a bit of a dick.
You're coming off a bit abrasive. And like I said, I wanted to set up this time for, we were best friends growing up. I missed you. I wanted to see you. But right now, this right here, this is why we haven't talked in 15 years, Jason.
All right. Well, look, I'm willing to give you another chance. I'm willing to. Let me calm down. Why don't we connect as cousins? And then if you want me to invest in your venture, like we can talk about that.
Jason,
I
run in some circles, but this connect as cousins, that just sounds, we have a very open love life, but that's where I draw it.
That's not what I meant.
Oh.
I meant just like get to like reconnect, like talk about our families.
All right, Jason, fuck it. We're 3 minutes over. I'll give you. My therapist has been telling me that I just need to take some deep breaths. I need to stay present in the moment. My guy, he used to work with George Harrison. The people you meet out here in California. Yeah, my therapist used to work with George Harrison.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. See, Jason, we still have things in common.
I mean, I don't know if that's a thing we have in common, but it's a kind of cool fact about your therapist.
Don't you love the Beatles?
I do.
My therapist used to be the therapist for George Harrison.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to listen to the Beatles together all the time when we were growing up. Do you remember when we were going to start that band and we tried to play, but we both sucked at playing musical instruments?
There was something about the cockroaches that just wasn't appealing to people.
No, that was not a good name for a band.
It just missed a bit of that, metaphor in there. But you know what? If there's anything I've learned in business, Jason, is that sometimes you just have to pivot. You just have to try one thing, and then if it doesn't work, you kind of take a left-hand turn and you see what you can make of it. So again, that's why I'm going to need your part of the inheritance.
It all comes back to the inheritance. You don't even care about me as a person, do you?
I mean, I know you're there. I see your face, so you're still alive.
I'm speechless. I am literally speechless about how little you care about our family and about Aunt Stacey, about our relationship.
Remember what my mom used to say? If you don't have anything nice to say, yeah.
Your mom was always kind of a bitch.
Well, I think that explains a lot, doesn't it?
And that's our show.
It's fun. Stacey, you're not muted,
Oh
but I
my
can't hear you. There you
gosh,
go.
keep it going. Neon Salami, I love that show. I feel like I had a cameo, even though it wasn't. I felt like I had kind of a cameo. I loved it so much. Everyone, guess what? I know I said that this show was not going to end, but like everything good, it has come to an end. This has been Comedy is Calling for Sunday, November 1st. I want to thank all of the comics you saw. We had stand-up from Dave McOwen, Jason Fliegle, Lauren Smith, Cy D, and Improv from Neon Salami. And I have been your host, Stacey Axler. I am running this show in partnership with Capital Cider House. And if we were able to have in-person shows, I know for a fact we would be at Capital Cider House right now. And it pains me that we're not able to be there, but guess what? If it pains you too, if you're saying, I miss Capital Cider House, you can support them. They have an online store. Online buying has truly gotten me through this time. I buy a new thing almost every day. Sometimes I didn't even know and I'm a young person. I didn't even know how much you could buy online. You can, everyone. Try it out. You can find out more at capitalciderhouse.com. They have all their delicious cider and all of their accoutrements online. Please check it out. It's so great at capitalciderhouse.com. And if you really miss us, if you want more comedy, we're coming back. We're coming back the third week of November this time. So we're going to have a show on Friday and a show on Sunday of November 20th and November 22nd. They're all going to be shows like this one. So there's Zoom shows on Facebook, so you can watch them from the convenience of your home. So that's kind of fun. Turn on some comedy, have a good night. I don't know anything better than that. And many of the wonderful comics you saw, you'll be seeing again. So it's not a goodbye. It's a see you very soon. Everyone, I cannot wait to see you again. I cannot wait to see you later in November. I hope everyone is doing well. And everyone, from myself and Comedy is Calling, have a good night, and we'll see you soon.